Hi there, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Tina from Tinaheals.com. This report is about the upcoming full moon that is to take place on 31st of October on the day of Halloween in the US and elsewhere in the West. In India, we do not celebrate Halloween, but we have something very similar called Bhut Chaturdashi, where we also appease the ghosts as well as our ancestors. And of course, we have Diwali, the celebration of light, while this full moon takes place in Sidereal Aries, okay, under the Bharani Nakshatra and in the Western tropical system in Taurus, okay, at about 8 degrees of Taurus. So before I begin, I want to say that Taurus is associated to the throat, Taurus and Venus is very closely connected because Venus rules Bharani Nakshatra. So this is an all Venusian lunation in most systems, and very, very close to being as Venusian as we can get. Up in the skies, Venus is about love, Venus is about connecting, Ushana Shukra. So Venus deals with the VISHUDDHA Chakra, which is the throat chakra, and many of you know that my guru is Paramhamsa Vishuddhananda. So this has a very, very powerful energetic signature for me and a very close energetic connection to me. Okay, so the symbol of Taurus is the bull. Okay, and if you ask me, if you go back in history, Egyptians and Mayans, even in India, Pashupatinath, Shiva worships, he has a bull as a totem. So many of us, we worship the bull as a symbol of Shiva, and he's called Nandi in Sanskrit, in the Vedic culture, okay? But the Mayans and the Egyptians worship the bull Apis, A-P-I-S, okay? And the bull of heaven, of course. And occultists believe, okay, this is so important, that our sun or Ra belongs to the Pleiades constellation. Okay, and Pleiades is basically in the Taurus constellation, and our sun is the seventh sun that revolves around Alcyone. So the seventh sun that rotates around Alcyone, there are 7 suns, okay? If you move away from the geocentric view, that is from Earth, and if you look at us from outside space, our sun is actually one of the 7 suns of Alcyone that go around Alcyone. The nakshatra is Bharani, Bharani. And there are 3 main stars that constitute the Bharani Nakshatra. And if you ask me, these 3 stars are ruled by Mars, because this is Sidereal Aries. And brain, Mars rules the brain. And in the brain, we have the Holy Trinity, right? That is, the Holy Father is the magnetic core at the root of our nose. That is Brahma, God the Father. Okay, God the Son is the pituitary gland, is Vishnu. The pituitary gland is very, very important. And Spirit is the pineal gland, or Shiva. Again, that is the Son, or Jesus Christ, right? So this is so very important, because Zeus also had once become a bull to mate with Io. Okay, so you can look all this up, very, very interesting. And in Kabbalah, DAATH is a mysterious SEPHIROTH, which is located at the base of the throat. So DAATH has a direct connection to the VISHUDDHA Chakra. VISHUDDHA Chakra being this. VISHUDDHA Chakra directly connecting to Vak Siddhi. Okay? So let us now try and understand this lunation. It's at 8 degree 38 of the tropical system of Taurus, and it's a feminine sign. Taurus is feminine, and it's nocturnal. It's and they say that feminine signs, by the way, before I continue, are centripetal. Okay, they hope, and masculine signs are centrifugal. So they seek, Okay, centripetal, centrifugal. So that's very so interesting, like centripetal and centrifugal, right? So this is a feminine sign, as we know, and this is taking place in Vedic sidereal Aries in the lunar month of Ashwin. Okay, Ashwin, the two twins, very, very important. And this is called the Sharad Purnima in Bengali. And also in my family, we do something called Kojaguri Lokhi Pujo. Okay, where we worship the goddess and give her offerings of shells. Okay, shells. So I've told many, if you, this is a very good way to basically alleviate your poverty, is to keep a bunch of shells in your house. Cowries, they are called, Cowrie, if you want them, and you energize each cowrie with Kailarim, Hasakahalarim, Sakalarim. Okay, so now this is the Bharani Nakshatra. So this day when this lunation is taking place, Kojaguri Lokhi Puja will happen, where you stay up the whole night, you pray to the goddess, you do mantra ucharan, and you are supposed to be blessed. And if you are blessed, your kundalini will basically rise. Okay, there is the potentiality for your kundalini rising on this day. Now, the full moon is conjunct Uranus. Uranus, the wild card, the spiritual, awakener and all of that. And Uranus is, and this new moon, a full moon, is on decan 1 of Taurus, which is ruled by Mercury and Venus by the triplicity system. This is essentially, in Western tropical astrology, the most Taurus of the Taurus decans, because it's got this complete Venusian signature, and also the ruler of Bharani is actually Venus or Shukra, which I'll get to. So you see how Venusian this lunation is in both systems, in the Vedic system as well as the tropical system. Okay. So the tarot card is 5 of Pentacles. 5 of Pentacles is being left out, not being cared for, feeling dejected, isolated, almost like a handicap stares back at us. So that's something. It could be problematic, this energy. And the 4th manzil is being triggered. This is Tropical Mansions, of course, taken from Christopher Warnock's website. And as mentioned by Agrippa, this 4th manzil is Al Dabaran, and stretches from 834 to 2125 of Taurus. And this is known as the Eye of Taurus. Okay, this manzil. Significations of this manzil is favorable for work, manufacturing, small trade, unfavorable for real estate and mining. So I would say unfavorable for fracking as well and stuff like that. Okay, but it's awesome to overcome obstacles. Okay, it's awesome to overcome obstacles. This manzil, the Picotrix says creation of enmity. Okay, so creation of enmity is a very prominent signature of this manzil. So when the moon is here, take a red wax and from it make an image of an armed man riding a cavalry horse, okay, with red wax, holding a serpent in his right hand, right? And you suffumigate this figure that you have made with red wax. You use red myrrh and storax, right? And you chant, "You, ASSAREZ, do such and such and fulfill my request." So ASSAREZ is the lord of this mansion. And if you ask for enmity, separation of couples, evil desires, it comes true. Robson says marry, do business, take medicine. Very, very important. And Christopher Warnock's keywords are, it's a primal material. Okay, in WBE, it's a site of the manzils. Also, I found the prima mater. Okay, so the primal matter. Primal material, discord, enmity, chaotic substance, ill will, hindrance. So appearance of ASSAREZ marks a time of testing of wills. ASSAREZ is this very, very malefic figure who lives, who's the lord of this mansion. And if summoned in the correct way, he is going to execute all kinds of evil, dark magic, okay, causing enmity, causing unrest and things like that, okay. Now the fixed star that is being activated at about 7, two fixed stars, HAMAL and SCHEDIR, okay, SHKEDIR actually, SIDER. So HAMAL is violence, cruelty, brutality, but is also the healer. And it's an unfortunate star, fixed star, and is of the nature of Mars and Saturn, the two malefics. SHKEDIR is at 748 of Taurus and is into astrology, mysticism, writing. This is what it imparts to the native. And when the moon is here, the moon is drawing energy from the fixed stars. That's what the luminaries do, especially the sun and the moon especially. So she is bringing this very mystical vibe from SHKEDIR, okay, writing as well. It's a very good, very important time to set intentions for writers. It's fortunate. It's of the nature of Saturn and Venus. And incidentally, this lunation is taking place on a Saturday. Now, because of the procession of equinoxes, Astrology King has put this lunation at the first manzil, Al-Sharatain. Okay, Al-Sharatain also causes discords in journeys. And this is under the nakshatra Ashwini. Now, when I was looking at the nakshatras, Ashwini and Bharani are so close. Ashwini is the male energy, Bharani is the female energy. It's so close, okay? So, causes discords and journeys, ruled by Ketu. And Ketu is a sidereal Scorpio right now, ruled by malefic Mars. Okay, so Ketu is spiritual, the principle of subtraction. Rahu is the principle of addition, right? Now, Al-Sharatain is ruled by Ketu, and Ashwini is ruled by Ketu, and Kabbalists call Aries Hey, okay? Hey, I don't know if I'm correct, the Hebrew word He, Hey. And the fifth tarot, the Pope. So Aries is now in the Kabbalistic structure getting the fifth tarot, which is the Hierophant, which is actually the tarot of Taurus. So you see how Bharani and Taurus are actually mixing with one another. Just two systems are getting wedded to one another, right? Even the Kabbalists are calling Aries the Pope, which is a Hierophant, which is a god of Taurus. How interesting is that? Sharatain is the main star in this manzil, and it's of the nature of Mars and Saturn. Now, near and as Bharani and Ashwini are like that, and Bharani is ruled by Shukra or Venus, and Bharani's lord is Yama. Yama is Saturn's brother, the god of death, Hades almost, okay? Can't really connect him to Pluto. I would say Shiva connects very powerfully to Pluto. Not the rape of Persephone and all that, but it does, okay? So essentially, Yama is the lord of Bharani, and Kali is his consort. Kali rules Bharani as well. And Kali is my Ishta Devi. I have a very close connection to Kali Ghat and Kali. And she is Mahagraha Harakali. Mahagraha is all the constellations, the nebulae and all of that. So she is the one who controls all planets, Mahagraha Kali. Okay, she's also Graha Varjita. That means she's beyond any astrological influence. So Kali sadhaks are actually beyond. They say that when you do Kali sadhana, you're beyond any astrological influence. Okay, she's also Grahavati. Grahavati is she who controls all the planets, and she's also Grahini Devi, the planetary goddess. So the meditation that I would suggest when we have this lunation is to think of the eternity of time, because you have to work with some of the significations of the Kali archetype, and Kali deals with time, Kala. Okay, think of death not as something fearful, but death as a transition, an end to ego-based consciousness of individual consciousness, individual awareness, detached from body consciousness. Okay, it's a beautiful Rajanikantir music, in devotional Bengali songs that Dehukta. The fact that my body is me, I'm so full of that idea that I cannot connect close to you. So detachment from the physical body is very important, okay? And impermanence, the study of impermanence, okay? And return to the unborn states of consciousness, the waters of the womb. And Bharani, the symbol of Bharani is the yoni. Okay, the symbol of Bharani is the yoni. There are other complicated yoni mudras, but this is a very simplistic yoni mudra. Okay, doing your mantra ucharan while holding this mudra and sitting in Padmasana will be very effective. Okay, so this mantra that I give to you, I've given you Hasakahalarim Sakalarim, Kailarim Hasakahalarim Sakalarim, which is Sri Yantra, but Kali mantra for this day is Kring Kring Kring. Hing Ring Dakshina Kalike, Kring Kring Kring. Ring Ring Hung Hing Swaha. Okay, so it's a very powerful Kali mantra for complete Jagaran. It is the Kali mantra to work with when we have lunation in the Bharani Nakshatra. Okay, so again I'll say it: Kring Kring Kring, Hing Ring Dakshina Kalike, Kring Kring Kring, Ring Ring Hung Hung Swaha. Hung, hung, swaha. Sorry, I said hung, hing, swaha, hung, hung, swaha. Okay, so this is, I'll write the mantra out. If you feel like working with this mantra, you can. You can even email me if you need more information. So natives born with Bharani influence. Let's discuss some of that. Edgar Allan Poe, actually, Bharani, very close. Have a tendency to oscillate between extremes of contradictory behavior, Bharani natives. So we are going back to the signification of Aries. Okay, so very extremes of contradictory behavior. Mars rules sidereal Aries. So this is completely Aries Mars signature. Masculine, primordial, primal, raw fire. And then you have the lord of this nakshatra is Venus or Shukra. So as Ashwani is male sexuality, Bharani is female sexuality, the sexual expression, the feminine sexual expression, okay? So because we live in a patriarchal system and the feminine has no really healthy outlet, so the sexual expression can get very polarized under lunation, with the lunation under Bharani. That's something to think about, okay? And why? Because and also what I've noticed is when there's a lunation in Bharani or with Bharani natives, either they take sex as something dirty and disgusting, or they're Kundalini awakening sex magic gurus. Okay, so there's an extreme polarity with that. Main symbol is, as I said, the yoni. The yoni is the main symbol of Bharani, right? Meditating on the vagina and connecting the vagina to the goddess. Very powerful. They say in Tantra that once you start meditating on the vagina, you lose consciousness of everything else. Okay, when you're doing the correct tantric practice. Bharani translates, Bharani, literally the term translates to the women who bear. So, very fertile. Animal totem is elephant. Ruling deities Lakshmi. So Kailarim, Hasakahalarim, Sakalarim and Sri Yantra pujas are must at this time. You can even get one done from me. I do pujas for clients as well. Gana is Manusha, so it's a human sign. Like I already explained, Hellenistic astrology also has, bestial sign, human sign, mixed signs. The gender is female. The number is 2. The dosha is pitta dosha, so hyperacidity, too much heat in the body. Guna is Rajas. So, you know, the three gunas, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. So this is Vishnu, like I said, Lakshmi, Vishnu are Rajas principle, so very Rajasic, this lunation. Element is Earth, Bharani. Disposition, fierce. Bird is crow, so feeding crows this day is very, very powerful. Linked to Mars because he rules Aries, so Bagalamukhi Puja, Bagalamukhi Havan is very powerful. I'll be doing that day. If it's your birthday, party hard. Do rituals to connect to your yoni if you have a complicated, relationship with your yoni or your pussy. After 33, things definitely get better for Bharani natives. Bharani natives, usually women, they say in the Vedic system, marry at the age of 23 or after 23. Something that I also found with my research is children born in the first or second quarter can cause death of the father. Okay, so this is something very, interesting to think about, death of the father. And I've studied many Bharani natives in the first 2 quarters, and in some way the fathers have been, ill-disposed to take care of them. Now, the yoni is a very powerful symbol. It, of course, is a pleasure organ. It's a procreation organ, but it also transports souls from one dimension to another, from one cosmic shore to another. So it's a system, it's a mechanism, the yoni, the pussy, okay? Bharani is a conduit through which humans connect to the goddess, and then the goddess nourishes them via the vagina through 3D, in 3D, okay? And in Tantra, there's Shiva Tantra, there's Shakti Tantra. So essentially Ashwini is Shiva Tantra, but Bharani is Shakti Tantra. Every single time there's been a lunation in Bharani, we have an innate necessity to grow, to evolve, to be spiritual, because Ketu is spiritual, and Ketu is so close ruling Ashwini. And Venus is our 5 senses. So there's this ultimate tantric equation to Taurus, if you ask me. It's not always easy to deal with 5 senses, because we want things, we desire things. Root is the root of all desire, the root of all suffering is desire, said Buddha, who gained enlightenment, did sadhana in the sign, under the sign of Taurus, okay, age of Taurus. So moon here makes us emotional, primal, raw. Feelings of angst can arise, deep angst. Venus is nakshatra graha, Mars is Rashi ruler, and the horns of Aries, which I made a little note to tell you guys, actually resemble a uterus. So Bharani and the yoni and the connection to procreation, the horns of Aries actually look like a uterus. Check that out. Now, the form of Venus, according to Ptolemy, is the image of a nude woman with a chain around her neck, held by Mars, who stands before her. So again, we see the domination play out between Mars and Venus. So we've got Mars ruling sidereal Aries and Venus ruling Bharani. So in a sense, Venus is surrendering, or is she being forced to surrender to Mars? Because we think of the image that Ptolemy conceptualized. She's naked, she's on the floor, she's got a chain, and Mars holds it, and he's standing with, like he's conquered something. Now let's get back to Hellenistic astrology. So Taurus, right? Taurus lies for the most part in the invisible sky. If you study constellations, which I do, I study astronomy, it is calm. The first 60 degrees, according to Valence, the Pleiades part is worthless, disease-producing, destructive, thundering, causing earthquakes and lightning flashes. The next 2 degrees are fiery, smoky. The right part of Taurus towards Auriga is temperate and cool. The left part is worthless, changeable, chilling and heating. Again, Venus, Mars, we see a lot of that back and forth. The head to 23 degrees is temperate, but causes disease and death, right? The rest is destructive, worthless, disease-ridden, according to Vatius Valens. Now, the first 8 degrees is ruled by Venus, okay? Which is very prolific. This is the term, of course, the 50 terms in astrology. So the first 8 degrees of Taurus is ruled by Venus. Prolific, many children, moist, downward trending, convicted, hating their children. Again, Bharani, the yoni nurtures, but in its negative could hate the children. But here we have the lunation past 8 degrees, but we had to take that into account because Venus is so powerful here in this lunation. So next 6 degrees is Mercury. So it's intelligent, sensible, criminal, few offspring, sinister and fatal. We can sense a sort of sinister vibe going on with the sidereal Aries and tropical Taurus, this part. And there's Mercury, Mercury, because he rules this lunation by term, he happens to be in the opposite sign of Scorpio, and he's retrograde. So we've already seen how Venus rules Taurus by domicile, Mercury rules by term, right, and by triplicity Venus and Mercury again. So these are Mercury being communication, who's retrograde, Venus being what connects us, what our desires, and we've got Mercury, Mars, and Venus. And Mars is right now retrograde in Aries, already reached the midpoint, and of course in sidereal system Mars is retrograde in Pisces. Okay, so Taurus, who's exalted in Taurus? The moon is exalted in Taurus, detriment of Mars and fall of Uranus, because Uranus is exalted in Scorpio. Okay, so card is 5 of Pentacles, and the element, we've got to discuss the element and the temperament. So earth signs are basically melancholic. All earth signs are melancholic humor, these astrological humors. So Taurus is cold, dry, yin is feminine, heavy, gross, substantial, receptive. Okay, the primary temperament of Taurus is melancholic, and the sub-temperament is phlegmatic and sanguine, right? These are astrological humors, and it's very, very interesting. I just love studying astrological humors and the biles and all of that. So parts of the body affected: neck, mouth, jaw, throat, medulla, brainstem, larynx, thyroid, vagus nerve. Okay, vagus nerve. Okay, vago parasympathetic nervous system. So remedies for this is gargle, breath work, laugh, fasting, yoga, singing, and massage. Special massage can be done to stimulate your thyroid. People with thyroid imbalance this can go crazy. People who've been infertile can suddenly get pregnant. People who are fertile can suddenly become infertile. So now the Sabian symbol is a Christmas tree decorated. This sequence, okay, this is 6 to 10 of Taurus. This sequence speaks of application, how you apply knowledge. And the keynote is ability to create inner happiness. And in dark arts, Christmas tree all decorated, and also faith in cyclical movement. Life is cyclical, so we keep decorating the Christmas tree every year. So faith in the dark times. In esoteric astrology, the co-planetary ruler of Taurus is Earth. Earth is one of the sole rulers of Taurus. Now, essentially, if you want to be more spiritually tuned in this lunation, my suggestion is just be. Okay, just be. And rest into reality. You may have heard of the Taoist Wu Wei, okay, which is non-action, what Winnie the Pooh basically, commercialized, Wu Wei. Taurus is very paradoxical, and is almost as paradoxical as Tantra, okay, to people who are not into Tantra, because Taurus uses full enjoyment of physical, sensual, the physical senses and the sensual, to develop an inner freedom. Okay, and that is being, there's so many pash or ropes around our neck, I explained in the last Tantra video. But Taurus uses all of these pashas, so-called pashas, like, hunger, lust, avarice, and if a Taurus is vibrating in the correct, in the upward spiral, then he will use all of this, and like a true tantric, he will achieve enlightenment while being in the samsara. Okay, while being in the samsara. Full enjoyment of 3D, okay, and through that they will develop an inner freedom, and that's my hope for all of us. Okay, once you develop that inner freedom, you realize that external gratification is not the be all and end all of every single thing. Okay, yes, it's good to be gratified, it's good to feel satisfied, it's good to get things, buy things, go shopping, but there's just so much more to life and to the mystery of life. And I think a lot of that is just seeping through with coronavirus. We are being forced to sort of, stay in the house. We are being forced to sort of look at ourselves, look at the people around us, and see what we've created, what we've done. So much love to you. Before I go, I'm gonna tell you that mantra again. Kring kring kring, hing ring dakshina kalike, kring kring kring, ring ring, hung hung swaha. Okay, kring kring kring, ring ring dakshina kalike, kring kring kring, ring ring, hung hung swaha. Okay, you can also chant the more simpler Shodashi mantra, which is Kaila-reem, Hasakahala-reem, Sakala-reem. Kaila-reem, Hasakahala-reem, Sakala-reem. So remember, this is the most simplistic mudra of the yoni. So hold the yoni mudra, connect to your breath, sit in peace, and then chant Kaila-reem, Hasakahala-reem, Sakala-reem. Kaila-reem, Hasakahala-reem, Sakala-reem. Thank you so much. Speak soon.